All right, welcome to today's class on listings and landing pages. My name is Leah with Scott Leroy Marketing. In today's class, I'll be taking you through showing you where listings syndicate from, where those pull from into your command account. So how are listings getting onto your website, your mobile app, and so forth. And I'll also be showing you how to create landing pages in command. So I'll be showing you how to make a just listed or a just sold landing page to help promote your new listing maybe. Or even an open house sign-in sheet I'll be showing you as well. So I'll be showing you different uses of landing pages and how you can market those to help capture leads. So the first thing that we need to do is log into command. So that's where I am on my screen here. If you're not already here, you'll want to go to agent.kw.com. So again, that's agent.kw.com to log into command. And I always remember that like it's the agent login for kw.com. So agent.kw.com to log in here. The username and password is the same thing as your MyKW login. Same thing as for the Kelly app. I know you probably have 9 million passwords for everything. However, they're trying to streamline them, make them all the same username and password. So hopefully that helps. Your username is typically something like your first initial, last name, and maybe a number if your last name's more common. And your password will be case sensitive. So that does require an uppercase letter, lowercase letter, and a number, just in case that helps jog your memory. And you can click sign in. Of course, you'll notice that forgot password option there as well. So if you need to reset your password, you can, or shoot us an email if you need help. support@scottleroymarketing.com. We just need your MyKW or your command username to help reset your password right away. So we're happy to help with that. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and so now that we're logged into command, we need to start by checking on our command marketing profile, as that is where all your contact information will autofill from onto every single landing page that you create in command. So if you're still working on logging into command, no worries, no rush. We're going to do a small amount of housekeeping before we get started so you have time. But if you are in command, if you could follow me to click your name on the top right of command, and then settings from that drop down. So again, we clicked on our name on the very top right of command and then settings from that drop down. Then on the left-hand side, if you could click on connect settings, we're working to access our marketing profile. And I'm going to say those steps again because this section is so important. This command marketing profile right here is literally where your contact information pulls from for anything you create marketing wise in command. So your KW website, any landing pages, any smart plans, designs, everything will pull from the command marketing profile. So it's really important to make sure your information is correct here. And if you ever get an email change in the future, new headshot, new logo, whatever it may be, updating it in the command marketing profile will update that for all of your marketing materials. So again, if you'd like to jot down those steps, this is a really great place for you guys to know how to navigate to if you have any changes in contact info. So step 1, click on your name on the top right of command. Step 2, settings from that drop down. Step 3, you'll see connect settings on the left-hand side. And last but not least, it's the only option, but the marketing profile will drop down from connect settings. All right, and if this is blank for you, first of all, this is something that we can help you set up. So if it's not already set up, I will put in the chat the link for us to set up your command marketing profile for you. That would also prompt us to set up your KW Command IDX website. So if you'd like us to set up your website and your command marketing profile, I put a link to that in the chat. You can fill that out after class and we're happy to do that for you. And if you're scrolling through and double checking your information, just note that you will need to fill in anything that says required or has that red asterisk next to it. Okay, the red asterisk, you'll see a lot in command, always noting it as a required field to allow you to save it. So keep an eye out for that. But as you scroll on down, check over this information. Make sure your phone number is displaying properly, the correct business email, website, and so forth. So scroll on down, and of course, hopefully you have notes now here on how to get back here, so you can update this at any time. Things like your social media options, Google Analytics, and so forth. So for now, if you could go ahead and click Save on the bottom if you did make any changes. And I know that was not anywhere near enough time to fill out the entire command marketing profile, but again, make sure you have the notes on how to get back here, and you can always come back after class to continue filling this in or make any changes. And again, we did that from the command settings under Connect settings. That's where our marketing profile will be. All right, guys, so that is the main place in the settings that you need to pay attention to for landing pages to work properly. We're going to change direction now and talk a little bit about how listings get into your command account before we start on landing pages, because it'll all tie together. We're going to actually pull listings onto your landing page to help promote those. So let's first talk about how listings get into command. So if you could follow me to the listing section of your command account. So on the far left-hand side menu, you'll want to click the second to the bottom option. It looks like a little yard sign for the listing section of command. And just a little tip on the command menu on the left-hand side. If you click on the KW logo on the very top left, it will pan out this menu so you can start to learn the navigation, see the actual verbiage and learn what each icon means. And as you're learning command, guys, really honestly the best thing that you can do is truly start from the top of this list and work your way down, just clicking around, see what tools you have in command, what you can use in here to grow your business. And then we actually have 10-minute tip videos to an hour training class on each section of that, so you can really get those details down. But I know whenever I learn new technology, I always tell myself, okay, this is fun, this is relaxing. And then my blood pressure rises about 10 minutes later. So, try to have fun with it. Try to click your way through on the left-hand side. You can't break anything, and we're here to help you with any questions that you have and trainings to help you learn and get a great handle on command, because that does have some really exciting tools. So starting with the listing section here, again, that's the second to the bottom icon that looks like a yard sign. All right, we do have a default on the My KWLS when I first click on that. So if you do have any listings live in the MLS, you should automatically see those listings here. Now, if you do have listings live and those are not popping up here under My KWLS, that does not mean that there's anything wrong with your account. They're just most likely searchable through the listing search option as well instead. So we'll do that in just a second here, but just know KW is working on grouping all agents listings under the My KWLS to make it easier for you to find those. And I'll share with you how you can get KW to push that through for you a little quicker too. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and click the View All option on the right-hand side. So again, that was View All on the right-hand side for that to pull up all listings. And Mona, great question in the chat. Does it show the coming soon? That depends on your real estate board. So depending on your real estate board, if they allow for coming soon listings or not, it would kind of depend. So I would recommend searching to see if those do pop in there, and we can always look into that for you as well. My location services have been a little funky on Chrome, so I might switch to Firefox here. However, all right, when you pull up the listing search, so when you click on View All on the right-hand side, it should take you to view all listings in your area, right? Or you'll have a map right here that you can search for those listings. So all listings will automatically pull over to command as long as they are live in the MLS. So, and that's not just listings in your MLS. All listings across the entire country and parts of Canada will automatically pull into command as long as they are live in the MLS. So no matter if those are KW listings or listed by another brokerage, all listings will automatically be searchable on your Command IDX site or any landing pages that you send out that we'll of course look at. Your mobile app, for example. So you do not have to do anything. In the past, as agents with KW, we had to set up IDX on our websites to be able to search listings in only our MLS. That is no longer needed, which is a beautiful thing. Now, just automatically, as long as it's live in the MLS, that will pull over to command. And to answer your question, Krista, can you make a landing page if it's not your listing? Technically, yes, you can, and I'll show you that. So if you're doing an open house on a listing that's not yours, you can create a landing page for that listing. However, of course, I would just recommend checking in with that agent to let them know that you're creating marketing materials for their listing. If you're doing an open house, it typically will. Yes, under contract listings will show. So it should show pending listings, live listings, and also sold listings in here. And sorry, my location services are just acting funky. I'll try to switch over to, I'll try to switch over to Firefox to help make this work better for you guys so you can see that. However, you should be seeing all listings show right here. You can search for listings as well. And again, if it's blocking that, it's just because the location services on your browser. We can always help with that further. But we'll be seeing the listings pop up as we actually apply those to landing pages. That's when that really comes into handy here. Of course, your clients will be able to search all listings, and we're going to actually pull those in to create marketing materials. All right, guys, so let's actually dive in. Oh, wait, before I do switch over to that, let me tell you real quick how to contact KW if you are not able to see your listings here. And I'm just switching over to Firefox on another tab on my other screen here. So if you are not seeing your listing, so if you did not see your listing under my KWLS option and you're not able to search for it here, so let's say you can search right here by property address or MLS number. So let's say that your listing is not coming up at all, okay? Let me tell you how you would go ahead and contact KW to get that pulled over, okay? So on the top right of command, this question mark right here, so that question mark right there, will give you the option to live chat with support. I actually just got off with them. They answer really fast these days. So this is KW support. The chat with support option is KW specifically. And I just chatted with them. And when I did that, they responded in about, here, it's working on Firefox. So you can see the listings pop up here a little better. But if you click on chat with support and just let them know, hey, my listing is not popping up, they can go ahead and push that over. And also, if you do not see your listings grouped under the My KWLS, again, that's something KW is working towards. But if you just let them know in the live chat right here, they can actually push your listings all under the My KWLS option as well. And we'll get to the landing pages next, guys, but if the listing is not live in the MLS, it just won't automatically pull over the listing information. So you can technically create a landing page. I mean, check with your broker on any compliance issues. You could manually create a landing page for a listing that's not live in the MLS yet. However, for it to automatically do the work for you, like you'll see, we're going to create a landing page now, and it will pull all the details from the listing automatically from the MLS as long as it's live in the MLS. So if it is not live in the MLS, it just won't do the work for you. So I'll kind of show you both those options as we go along here. So if you could follow me, we'll go ahead and start creating landing pages, one of my favorite features in Command. And to do that, we'll click on the very bottom left option. So very bottom option on the Command toolbar, it's the consumer icon. The very bottom consumer option on the Command toolbar. And this consumer option right here, that's generally where all of your consumer tools will sit. So for example, your website, your Command website, your landing page, your mobile app, right? Those are all tools for your consumers, for your clients. So all the tools will be under the consumer section. And the coming soon listings, guys, that would depend on your MLS. So depending on your MLS board, they have different rules on if coming soon listings are allowed to be marketed or not. And so depending on those rules will depend if they automatically pull over to the command KWLS 2.0. So we'll take a look. I'll show you how you can search to see. All right, so again, from the consumer tab here on the very bottom command menu on the left-hand side, we're going to click on create a new page on the top right. So create a new page on the top right. You'll be given two options here, one on my agent site but we're going to select the other option as a landing page. Okay, it says create a landing page for lead generation. And if in the back of your head you're asking what the heck is a landing page, it's a good question. So let me explain that real quick before we dive into this. So a landing page is called a couple different things. You might have heard it called like a squeeze page or a funnel page. What it essentially is a single page website that's sole purpose is to capture leads. So the idea behind a landing page is to offer something of value in return for their contact information. So I don't know about you, but when I'm on the internet surfing around and I get prompted for my contact information, I do everything humanly possible not to give my contact information because I don't want to get more emails or spammed with anything. So because of that, you want to give them a reason to give over, and this is what I'm going to show you, but exchanging their contact information for something of value. So whether that be, hey, if you give me your contact information, here's a 10% off Lowe's coupon, or for your contact information, I'll give you a private showing on this home or a free CMA. Okay, so I'll show you how we can set that up, but that's a general idea of a landing page, is exchanging that client's contact information, that lead information, for something of value that you're providing them. All right, so again, we are clicking on that create a new page on the top right, and then just make sure you're selecting as a landing page specifically and click create page. All right, so I did select the landing page option specifically. And when I do so, I will have a blank page on the left-hand side. So what you'll see here is this is where the template is going to go of the landing page. And on the right-hand side, meet your new best friends. These widgets make it insanely easy to set up these landing pages. So what we're going to do first is create a just listed landing page. So to help promote your new listing, or it could be a just sold listing. Or open house coming up soon, whatever it may be, you are essentially giving them the listing information in exchange for their contact info. So let's take a look at how that would work. So on the left-hand side here, again, these are your widgets that make your life super easy to edit this. So what we need to do is I'm going to take a widget, I'm going to click and hold my mouse to drag that widget over to this blank page. So I'm going to start with the branded header. You can use whatever widgets you'd like, but I'll recommend a couple that I really like, so you can test that out on your end. So I'm going to click and hold the branded header option and drag it to the blank page on the left-hand side to let go of my mouse, and it will drop that widget in. Now try not to get too hung up on anything that you're seeing here. This will all be editable, right? This is pulling from your command marketing profile, by the way, where we started class. However, for example, if your phone number doesn't have dashes in it, like mine, I'll want to correct that. And I'll be given the opportunity once we actually create the layout. So we're creating the layout of the landing page first on the left-hand side, and then we'll be given an option to edit these items. So the next thing I'm going to add is actually the listing widget. Okay, since this is promoting a new listing, I want to go ahead and have that information at the top. So I'll go ahead and click and hold my mouse on the listing widget, drag it to the left-hand side, and then you can release your mouse. Just one more thing to note, when you are dragging widgets over, you'll see that green bar that's displaying right there. And you'll notice if I pull the widget up, it moves the green bar above it. That's just showing you where are you dropping your widget. So do you want that to go above the previous widget or below it? And then you can release your mouse whenever you're done. And again, I realize this isn't your listing. I mean, I wish it was, or my home for that matter. All right, but we will have the opportunity to actually insert your listing specifically instead. But this is just what we're doing now, is creating the template, how it will look, and then it will allow us to edit that. So you can scroll and see how clean and nice this looks. All this information will automatically pull from the MLS as long as it is active in the MLS. So I can, if you scroll on down, you can just see like a preview of how that will look. It will scroll the photos, pull over the details, the map, and so forth. So I do love how that looks. But on the right-hand side, I just want to add a couple more widgets so you guys can get comfortable with these and see what they all do. So you can decide which ones you want to use for your real landing pages. So on the right-hand side, some other options I like here as far as widgets go. I do really like that market snap. So if you'd like to include it as well, I'll show you how. So the market snap, I'm going to click, hold, I'm going to drag my mouse kind of towards the bottom of my screen to release my mouse, or release my mouse, and then I can scroll and see what that looks like. Okay, so this will just be a, an example neighborhood for right now, but again, we'll be editing this. But what this will show is just neighborhood stats, which is really helpful to have on a listing landing page so they can get an idea of, active and sold stats in the neighborhood as well. All right, I'm going to add 2 more widgets here. Maybe 3 if I'm feeling crazy. So one being the video widget. I just want to show you guys, especially in the case that you have a virtual tour done for the listing, you can easily add the virtual tour in to your listing landing page here by grabbing this video widget. So same concept here to add any widget, right? We click and hold our mouse, drag to the left-hand side to release our mouse, and then we can scroll down to see the widget. All right, so lead form, and this is kind of up to you where you want that lead form to go, but you always want to add a lead form to a landing page you're creating. If you're taking notes, that might be a noteworthy moment. So the lead form enables you to capture the lead information from the actual landing page. So of course, really important. So you'll see what that looks like, but you can add, depending on what you want, you can add the lead form to the bottom, so they have to scroll through the information first. Or let's say I want to add it between the listing information and the market snap here, I can add it right in between so that the lead form is towards the top. So again, you can add that lead form to the very bottom, or if you pull it over, again, you can see that green line. You can see where that's dropping it. So if I release my mouse, it puts the widget, in the middle here. And it kind of separates these 2 maps, which I like. All right, there's just one last widget that I'm adding. So if I scroll to the bottom, I'm going to scroll to the bottom, and I'm just going to sum this up with the agent branding. So just on the bottom, you'll notice this looks like the bottom of a website. But we have a branded header option. That's what we already use for the top. And then I usually use the agent branding for the bottom because it does tie that up nicely. And it, again, just pulls all this information from your command marketing profile. But it will have all of your contact information at the bottom as well, which I like, so that no matter where they are on the landing page, if they're at the bottom, the middle, or the top, they know how to contact me. All right, guys, so that's what we're doing. We're grabbing widgets on the right-hand side to pull those over, and you can play with any of them. Of course, I'll be showing you now how to edit these. But just one more thing before we move over to editing these widgets to customize them to your actual listing and so forth. I just want to point out that there are content blocks as well. So the widgets normally display, right? But on the very bottom here, you'll see content blocks as an option as well. So if you click on that, it'll just give you some basics here to be able to add an image manually or add text manually. So for the questions on can I create a landing page for a listing that's not yet live? And again, check in with your broker for any compliance issues with that. But technically, the answer to that is yes, you would just have to do it manually. So, and I know that's kind of a bummer, but if it's not live in the MLS, you could add the image of the listing manually and add the text box to copy over the description from the MLS and so forth. So that would just have to be done manually. If it is live in the MLS, it'll automatically fill in this template with all your listing info. And I'll show you that in just a second here. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. You'll notice that it does not let you publish the page right now. So publish page is grayed out until you actually configure the widgets. So again, if you're taking notes, I would star configure widgets just to make sure, it's kind of hidden here on the bottom, just to make sure that pops out to you. You're not pulling your hair out wondering why you can't publish the page. Okay, you do always need to configure the widgets on the bottom right. Configure widgets. So again, just to make sure I don't lose anyone, because we'll be in this configure widgets for a while here. Okay, so I'm clicking configure widgets on the very bottom right. And this is required to publish your landing page. So configure widgets, and it will show me a list of my current widgets that I have on this specific landing page. Now on the right-hand side of each widget, I'll see a check mark, whether that's been completed or not. So not every widget you technically have to edit. I'll be going through editing all of them anyway. However, you'll see that the main two that I have to complete are the listing and the video widgets in order to publish the page. Once all these are green, it'll let me publish the page. So I'm going to start with the top widget, the branded header. Just going to click there. So branded header. And we can go ahead and edit any of this information. So on the right-hand side here, this is where we're editing this. For example, we can add in a header here, a header text. And this is kind of short, it's only 30 characters what you can add. But if you'd like to add something like just listed in the property address or proudly presenting 123 Main Street. And yeah, you'll have to play around with it because again, you'll see only 30 characters is allowed. So it's not a whole lot, but that's just to make sure it fits right here. It doesn't overlap anything. But yeah, you can put just listed, just sold, the property address, and then that will apply once you click save and apply on the bottom. So once I click save and apply, I do see that's added right away. And Jenny is asking, is the landing page basically like a marketing brochure? Essentially, right? I'm going to share with you guys different ways that you can market this out. You know, maybe instead of like a flyer box outside of your listing, you can promote this landing page instead on the top of your sign. So I'll be taking you guys through that. But yeah, it's essentially a way to market your listings and also in a way capture those leads from it. So it's kind of like a virtual brochure. Yeah, I like that idea, Jenny. All right, any other contact information you want to update? Like for example, my phone number, I want to add dashes to, I can go ahead and do that. And again, it will go ahead and apply that as soon as I click save and apply. So if you're not crazy about what you put here, no worries. You can edit away and keep clicking save and apply to test that out. So not too much to do here since it pulls from the command marketing profile, but on the top right, we're going to click that next arrow. So to the right of where it says 1 out of 6 in my case, because I have 6 total widgets, I'm editing the first one. So I'm just going to go down the list here. So I'm on 1 of 6. I'll click the arrow to the right to go to 2 of 6. So now we're editing this listing widget, which of course is the main attraction here. So on the right-hand side, I'll go ahead and click Browse Listings because I'm going to replace this one right here. So when I click Browse Listings, it will pull out the KWLS 2.0. This is, you know, when we're in the listing section, kind of what that's reflecting. So this again pulls all listings from the entire US, and Canada, automatically as long as it's live in the MLS. Okay, or it does also show pending listings and sold. And then again, coming soon listings will depend on your MLS board. All right, so you can go ahead and search for the listing that you're looking for based on property address or MLS number. MLS number is typically faster to search for, just a quick tip, just because the property address can vary slightly. However, you can go ahead and you can do this for a practice listing as well. I'm just going to go ahead and grab one. So if you go ahead and find a listing that you'd like to use, and feel free again to grab any of these, the agent won't be notified or anything. You can go ahead and click select on the right-hand side of any of these listings. So click select on the right-hand side of any of those listings, and it will select that listing, as I can see here. And it'll also give me an option of the photos from the MLS. So I can see right here, I can add, so what we're deciding right now is which photo do you want to be the main photo. It will scroll through all photos. If you scroll down slightly, that's where you'll have that a photo scroll essentially of all from the MLS, but we're selecting which one do you want to be the cover photo. So, you know, typically the front of the home, or if they have, you know, a beautiful backyard or an insane kitchen, you know, feel free to pick a different one as well. You can also add a custom image, but it will allow you to pick right from the MLS, and you can click save and apply on the bottom right here to have that show on your landing page right away. So save and apply on the very bottom right will again apply the actual listing. with whichever photo you select as the primary. And then I should see all the listing information automatically update as I scroll through, right? The description pulls from the MLS. I can see the photos are automatically scrolling, details and features pulling from the MLS, map updated from the MLS. So you can see how insanely easy it makes it to create a landing page as long as the listing is active in the MLS. And it looks, I just love the layout, right? It looks really clean, very professional. And once you get the hang of this, you can do this very quickly, right? Because it's just pulling all that information automatically. So, beautiful thing. Love when it's automatic. All right, guys, so we did the listing widget. So now we're on widget 2 of 6. So I'm clicking the arrow on the top right to go ahead and go next. So again, remember that shows which widget I'm on. I'm currently editing widget 2 of 6. So when I click the arrow on the top right, that'll take me to the next widget. And there's not much to do on all of the widgets. Like for example, this contact form right here, all you can really change is that top header information, or the title rather. So, you know, if you want to say something different than interested, let's talk, you know, you could write something like, let's grab coffee, or contact me, let's grab coffee, or contact for a private showing, let's say. Contact for a free CMA, right? This is kind of your opportunity here to really give them incentive to contact you further. So contact for a private showing, and click save and apply. All right, so that's been updated. And that's all I had to do for that widget, so that was relatively painless. And so now I'm going to the next widget, right, just by clicking the arrow on the top right here to go to widget 4 of 6. And this is the new market snap. And of course, these widgets I'm going to show you for the rest of the time here, the next 3 or so. And these are kind of optional. So you can absolutely stick, you know, this would be a really nice landing page to just show the listing information, branded header, and a contact form. That's beautiful. That's complete. That's a great way to capture lead information. I'm just going to show you these next few widgets here as an additional resource. They're very cool, I find, in providing the market stats for that neighborhood. So for the new market snap, if you added this as well, feel free to do this on your end. First of all, I leave the header blank. It will update automatically. You can update the header. However, it keeps the two-toned color if you do not edit it. So I'm going to not edit it and show you what happens so that you get an idea. What we do need to do, however, is update the postal code. So go ahead and put in the postal code of the listing, right, wherever the listing is live. Once you put in the postal code, it'll then update the neighborhood dropdown right below it to all neighborhoods in that zip code. Now, I have not seen these are in alphabetical order. I don't know if this is by geographical location, or how this is sorted, but you will have to scroll down to kind of search through the different neighborhoods to go ahead and search or click on whichever one would apply. So again, all we're doing here is we're putting in a postal code for where that listing is or where the neighborhood is. Once I do that, it'll then generate all the neighborhoods under that postal code. So I can go ahead and select that. And when I click save and apply, it'll then update these neighborhood stats to show for that neighborhood. All right, so that will pull from Nextdoor, just a heads up. So it looks like some of these are showing NA, by the way. There's not a way for you to change that as the agent. As again, that will pull from Nextdoor. So you can play around with that. The listing information or the neighborhood information. Let's see if I can get one that'll work a little better for you guys. I wonder if this is down completely. Interesting. If anyone added this widget, I'm just curious, are you able to see any of these sold statistics here? I can absolutely look into this and contact KW after class to see if that feature's down, but I'm seeing that on all of them. Let me know if you guys are seeing those pop up. Maybe it's just my browser. If you're curious, feel free to shoot me an email after class. I'd be happy to look into this. Weird. Okay, this might be down. I'll contact KWRI and get a better idea on when this will be back up. But if you'd like to shoot me an email after class, I'm just putting my email. You can put attention Leah in the subject line, and I will let you know what I find on that. So, I mean, for right now, might be best to hold off, I guess, on using this market snap. But this was working like last week when I tried. So hopefully this is just a temporary glitch. Usually the glitches do resolve themselves fairly quickly, and KW works on them very diligently. All right, guys, well, good to know that we're going to hold off on using the new market snap for now. And I'll show you how you can actually delete a widget if, this happens, or, you add a widget and decide you don't like that. I'll show you how you can delete this. Good question. I'm guessing like the rest of it, whatever. I would try that. I think it would generate the same options as far as what the neighborhoods are. It seems to just take the first part of the postal code. All right, guys. So coming on down, I do want to just show you the video widget. This is really the last one that you'll need to use brain power on. This is a very cool widget to use, though, because of the case of a virtual tour. Right? That would be a splendid thing to add to your listing landing page. So what you would need to do first, in the case that you are adding a video to your command website or a landing page, is you always need to add it to a place like YouTube first. And adding your video to YouTube is way easier than I thought it would be. I'm just going to show you that real quick, and I'll grab a video to use so I can show you as an example. So youtube.com, just a heads up, if you go to YouTube, your login for YouTube is the same thing as your KW email. If you don't have the video widget, make sure you're not, the websites don't have video widgets of website pages, so make sure you selected the landing page widget or landing page option specifically, but you should all have that video widget. I can look into that after class for you as well. All right, so again, if you have a video, and video marketing has become such an essential thing to put you at the head of, places like Google. Search engines really promote sites with videos on them. So, creating virtual tours or even videoing yourself, at local shopping centers to explain the area and so forth. Creating video content, while I know that probably feels very painful because I always watch a video of myself talking into the camera and I cringe. However, video marketing is such a great way to connect with your clients. If they find you online, okay, reading your bio, that's great. It's a great way to connect to you. But seeing someone on a video, there's something about that creates a relationship that, words and pictures don't have the ability to do. Like, for example, if you watch an entire season of your favorite show and you finish the show and feel like, wow, I just lost my friends because the show is over. Same kind of concept there. You can really draw a connection with people through video marketing. And when you create those videos, it can be on your phone, literally just videoing yourself or your surrounding area. And then going to youtube.com, you can log in with your KW email, and there's a create option on the very top right to add in that video. So all it's doing is uploading the video to YouTube. And once it's on YouTube, you can then add it to your landing page. So that's what I'm going to show you now. Oh, wow, sorry about the kind of inappropriate picture right there. All right, let me go ahead and search a Keller Williams video. Keller Williams mobile app. So you can really search any video right now if you have one online already, great. Keller Williams has some really great videos themselves. So if you search Keller Williams, KWRI puts out great videos. They have a great video marketing team. So if you want to grab one that they already have, I'll go ahead and open one. And what we're going to do, so any video will work to practice with this, guys. We're going to click share on the bottom right of the video. So open any video, click share on the bottom right, and copy. Okay, I'm going back to command. So I did switch tabs, not to throw anyone off. So the two tabs, the icon that looks like a play button will be the YouTube tab, and then the tab with a KW icon that will be back to your landing page here. So I switched back to my landing page here with that KW logo on the tab, right? And I'm now editing my video widget here. And I'll show you guys this again in case I lose anyone, just heads up. All right, but the video source, so all we're doing for video URL is we are now right-clicking to paste that in. We can, of course, do a headline like virtual tour, 123 Main Street, you know, come stroll through 123 Main Street. Anything about the gleaming hardwoods and beautiful built-ins. And you can click save and apply. And again, I'll show you these steps again if you'd like to jot them down. But that will add the video in right away. So especially if there is a virtual tour, that is a great thing to add in. So again, those steps are, okay, so we added the video widget. All right, so then we would have to, that video would have to be on a place like YouTube. If you have someone doing your virtual tours, like a photographer, they will generally share the virtual tour with you with like a link, and that's fine. Whatever link they send you would typically work. So if that's on Vimeo is another one I've seen photographers use. YouTube is a free source, of course. So whatever the case may be, we just need to grab a link for that video essentially. So if it's on YouTube, fantastic. Pull that up on YouTube. Okay, the steps are, we click share on the bottom right of the video. Click copy. Now switch back to command. And we're just putting in that video URL right here. Okay, the upload video does not work quite as well, just because they're really big files, as you can imagine, these video files. So that's why it works a lot better with a lot less lag if you upload the video to a place like YouTube at first. So using the video URL to paste that in, as soon as I click save and apply, that will show up. I do have a 10-minute tip video on that. If you guys go to do this in the future and forget everything I said, I have a tip video I'll share with you at the end of class. All right, guys, we're on the home stretch here. So I'm going to click on the next button on the top right here, just to get to my last and final widget, right, which is that agent branding on the bottom. So I'm good to go here. Everything looks good. I can click save and apply on the bottom, but of course you can change anything you'd like. And I have now completed all of my widgets, right? So what I'm going to do on the top left here, or top right rather, where it says 6 of 6, I can click on that back arrow to see, oh, sorry, I lied. Click on this back arrow that is to the left of the actual widget name instead. And that will take you back to view all of your widgets, and I can see that all of those are completed. So that means I will now be able to publish the page. Yes, and Pam, great question. There is a way that you can add this to your website. It's kind of a workaround. There's not really a way in command to add these landing pages to your website, but I'll show you guys a way to embed the landing page on your site. We can do it for you as well, but I'll show you guys the workaround to embed these landing pages on your site. All right, guys, so I'm going to click on Publish Page on the top right here. And just a heads up, if you ever did want to delete a widget, right, like this one's not working for me, but Susan said that she could see her stats. So it might be a little hit or miss. It might be the actual widget itself. I'll have to check and get back to you guys on that. Okay, so feel free to email me and I can always check, let you know. So on the top right, let's go ahead and click on Publish Page, because I now want to share with you how to market this, right? We created this page. All right, now how do I best market it to capture leads? And then I'm going to show you where the leads go as well. So that's what we'll be doing for the remaining parts of class here. All right, so again, I'm publishing the page on the top right. Don't worry about if this isn't actually ready for anyone to see. No one will find it if you don't market this out. Okay, so just by publishing it doesn't mean that people are going to come to it. You'd really have to market out these pages to drive traffic there, and that's what I'm going to show you exactly. But don't worry about if it's not ready. Go ahead and publish the page just so we can edit it or work with it, and I'll show you how you can easily disable it. All right, so we clicked on Publish Page on the top right, and that'll take you back to the main consumer tab, okay, where your landing pages are actually over on you'll have to click on the landing page option on the top white toolbar here. And again, what we're going to work on now is let's talk about how we can best distribute these pages. Okay, first of all, so here's my new landing page. Oh, and I forgot to rename it, but you can absolutely rename that on the top left when you're editing the landing page. But some things to note here is if you need to disable this landing page for any reason, like the listing sells or whatever the case may be, you can easily turn that off with the toggle here on the left-hand side, or turn that back on for that matter. Clicking on the landing page itself will open that up. So you can see it. This is what it would actually look like to your clients. I don't know if it's just me, but I love the layout of these landing pages. I do think it looks really official, really nicely laid out here. Yeah, they can contact me, view the video, and so forth. So this is what it looks like. So let's talk about how we can promote that out. Last but not least, just some couple other things to note on the far right. The 3 dots right here will allow you to edit that, change the URL, deactivate and delete the landing page. We'll talk more about that in just a second here. And you'll see the number of leads captured by each landing page, which I'll also come back to in just a second here. But first, let's talk about how we could put this on our signs, for example. All right, so what a lot of agents are doing, instead of having a flyer box, for example, with physical flyers, because the last thing I want to do is have another piece of paper in my life, and secondly, right, if it's on a busy street, people don't really want to get out of their car to go get a flyer. So instead, they might prefer to see on your sign a website address where they can go to and view all the listing information virtually on their phone, and even contact the agent right from there if they have any questions, i.e. this page, okay? So let's talk about how we can promote that out. Now, as you can see, this is a pretty crazy URL. So that's the actual website address for this landing page, and no one driving by is going to be able to remember that off your signs, okay? And as I gave you a little peek of, right, in the 3 dots, there is an option to change the URL. However, unfortunately, that's not super helpful still, because that's just talking about the last part of the URL. So that's still a pretty crazy URL here. So instead, okay, let's talk about alternatives. And what I'm about to tell you, these are not required things that you have to do, okay? These are just recommendations on how to better your marketing. So what agents are doing is going to a site like GoDaddy.com and purchasing a domain name for that landing page. If you're not familiar with what a domain name is, pretty much just buying a website address. And they're pretty nominal. They're anywhere from 99 cents to $12. It kind of depends on the domain, but generally they're about $12 or less for the year to purchase a domain. And again, when I say a domain name, what I mean is you could buy 123mainstreet.com. as long as it's not already taken, or whatever that of the property address is .com. And then we can actually help you with this part. Once you purchase that domain name from a site like GoDaddy, we can forward that to your landing page for you if you'd like, so that if anyone types in 123mainstreet.com, it would automatically take them to your landing page. So the cool thing about that is, right, if you have a rider created for your sign, and I think that's what's called in North Carolina, at least, the smaller version of the sign that would be generally on the top that you can slide in and out. A lot of agents will get a rider for that website address specifically. So get a rider printed for 123mainstreet.com, put that on the top of their sign so anyone driving by can quickly see that domain, type that into their phone, and go directly to this landing page here. All right, you can also create a QR code from that. If you guys aren't familiar with what QR codes are, first of all, we can create that for you. But a QR code, you actually probably see that now going, if you go out to restaurants and have to scan the menu, right, to pull that up on your phone, that little like barcode looking thing. You can scan it with your camera app. So it's a code that you can scan with your camera app, and it would take them directly here. And we can help create that for you, QR code. If you just Google QR code generator, there's a bunch of free options, but we're more than happy to do it for you. And what that would do, and that would be best for print marketing. So if you are passing out flyers or postcards, having it scannable from their phone would be ideal, versus on your sign. You could absolutely put it on your sign. It's just if they're driving by, they're not really able to scan that QR code. So just something to consider. But a QR code is another great way that you can help push traffic to your listing landing page. Lastly, or the other thing I want to show you guys is how to promote this on Facebook or social media. So in the case, that you do not have a domain name or QR code, you actually don't need either of those to go ahead and promote this on social media. Okay, it's okay. It doesn't matter if this URL is crazy for social media because it'll direct people with a clickable link. So what you can do is right click on this URL. So if you highlight it, right click on it, I can copy this. Copy it from over here. So you can copy the URL right here. So again, I click and highlight to right click to copy. Okay, and now we can promote it on Facebook. And I just have a dummy business page that I use to practice on for this. All right, but if you would like to post this, let's say on your Facebook business page, you could come in here and click Create Post and go ahead and paste in. Sorry, that was a little fast. I would right click and click to paste that. Okay, or if you like keyboard shortcuts, Command C or Control C will copy it, and Control V or Command V, if you have a Mac, will paste it as well. Now, the reason that I like to do it this way with a landing page is that we'll show a preview of the home. Typically, if you share the listing from your website to Facebook, it will not show a photo of the home from what I've seen, unless that's been updated recently. However, sharing a landing page, right, this will go ahead and show a preview of the home. So a picture of the home right from your Facebook. And of course, you can write more details than that, right? But I can see here that it even pulls over the description of that listing, right? That's all pulling over from the actual MLS here. Remind me, jog my memory. The tour factory URL, is that typically the virtual tour specifically, or it's also, okay, right, virtual tour and like show some pictures. Yeah, I mean, so you can do one of two things. It's been a while since I've been on Tour Factory, but I believe when you get that Tour Factory link that it also gives you a URL for just the virtual tour part of that. Correct me if I'm wrong. So you could, cool, thanks, Jenny. You could take just that URL from the Tour Factory and actually embed that in the actual website or in the landing page, right? Because you know how we added the video widget. So you could use that from there. That would probably work perfectly. So yeah, I might suggest pulling that from there and putting it on the landing page, but yeah, you could essentially promote both. With that being said, that actually brings me to my next point in promoting landing pages on Facebook ads. I'm not sure if you guys have played with Facebook ads too much in Command. I'm going to show you a quick preview of how that works, and then I'll wrap this up showing you where all leads go. So if you can stay on for 5 more minutes, there's just some good info I just need to share with you real quick. So if you are working on Facebook ads, I'll share a 10-minute tip video on this. Facebook ads as soon as we wrap up class here. And if you're watching this recorded, I'll put these links in the description of the YouTube video. But if you'd like to watch on my screen, just a great thing to do with these landing pages is to route that on your Facebook ads. So let me show you what I mean real quick. And this will be kind of a quick overview if you haven't really played with Facebook ads. But again, I'll share a solid 10-minute, 15-minute tip video so you guys can get working on Facebook ads in Command, because that is great to use. So in the campaign section of Command, so on the left-hand side, that is the megaphone icon. There we go. That'll be your campaign section. And if I click on that and click on Create Campaign on the top right, it will give me the option to do a social ad. So I'll select the social ad option. So social ad, and this is a paid feature, by the way. So these Facebook ads are not free to run from Command. They're a paid feature because what you're doing, you're paying to get in front of an audience that you do not already have. So this is not getting in front of your database. This is getting in front of an audience that you do not currently have contact to. So that's why you pay for Facebook ads, and it's valuable to capture leads. So if I go ahead and just put in like, a name of my Facebook ad, and select a goal and select them putting this on Facebook and click Create Campaign. Again, I know this is fast, but you can just watch on my screen. So again, I'm adding the name, putting a goal, and selecting which Social media, I am linking this to. Click create campaign. All right, it will take me through a couple steps here. So you'll see the steps right here. These are the steps to set up a Facebook ad, just a heads up. You can literally go down and click on each one to edit that. However, what I want to show you is under Facebook settings. Of course, this is all important. In that video, we'll go over this further that I share with you guys. But under Facebook settings, this is where it talks about the URL that it will be routed to. Just a heads up, whenever you're selecting this, you will want to select the Facebook lead gen form that is recommended, and that will route leads to command. Okay, so you want to first select the Facebook lead gen form. But after they fill out the Facebook lead gen form, so basically what it'll look like is they'll see the Facebook ad, they click on it, and it'll prompt them to fill out this Facebook lead gen form, which is best for capturing leads. And then once they fill out that form, it would then route them to whatever destination URL you put. And to answer your question, Jenny, no, you would need to pick one or the other. For this case specifically, it will only allow for one website URL here. So you can put in a website URL for any website, or you can choose landing page right here to go ahead and link up that landing page that we just created today. All right, and again, what that would do is after they fill out the Facebook lead gen form, it would route them to that listing information so that they can contact you for any questions and see further info on that listing. Okay, and not to mention, right, of course, I've talked a lot about how this helps you capture leads, but not to mention how impressed your seller client is going to be that, wow, my agent created this personalized website for me to help promote my listing. Right? This is a very impressive looking website, single page website that they think you created just for them, which you did, right? But it also is, of course, great to capture leads. So you're knocking out two birds with one stone here, right? You're impressing your seller client as well as capturing leads. Now let's talk about where those leads go. Okay, and again, I will send out a video on how to do Facebook lead ads or Facebook ads so that you have further knowledge on that. But let's talk about where these leads will go and how you can find them. And then I'll let you guys enjoy your Friday. Yes, it's a weekend. All right, so real quick. Oh, good question. How much is a Facebook ad? It depends. It depends on your duration. What's recommended is this right here, what they have in here. So it's $3 a day, I believe. So $30 total. So that's recommended. You can increase the duration or make it even shorter depending on what your budget is, but that $30 is what's recommended for capturing leads initially. All right, so how we can go about checking leads that we get from landing pages or just checking leads in general. It's really important that you guys know where to be spot checking your leads from, okay, and where those notifications come from. So let's navigate on over. Actually, I'm going to start with the home page of your site, of your command account. So if you can click on the home icon real quick on the very top left, that'll just take you to your command homepage. And this is what you see automatically when you log in. And within the last year or so, they did add the option to have recent leads on your homepage. However, mine was defaulting on the bottom. So let me make sure that your recent leads are at the top of your homepage. So how you would do that is, again, I'm in the home section. Click customize home on the right-hand side. So customize home on the right-hand side. So that'll show you all the widgets that are displaying on your home page, but specifically my leads were at the bottom when this first launched. So if you would like your leads to be at the top, which I would recommend, just click on the dots in a rectangle here. Your mouse will turn into a hand where you can grab, click and hold your mouse to drag that to the top, and then release your mouse. And click apply. Okay, and that should move that up to the top here. All right, another thing that you guys need to know about capturing leads, let's come over to our contact database to be comfortable with searching for leads. And I'm going to show you how you can create a smart view filter to only look at your leads. This won't take long. But again, we're on the contact section of command on the left-hand side. That's the second icon down. Okay, so we're going to perform a search of only our leads, and then we're going to save that search to make it super easy for you guys to get to moving forward. So first of all, where it says filters here, go ahead and click on filters and click on leads only. So filters button on the top of your database, and then leads only on the right-hand side, excuse me, and then we'll apply that. And that will pull up all leads that your command account has captured through different sources. Okay, so I want to go ahead and show you how to save this view so that you can easily either default your contacts on the leads only view, or that you can easily just click one button to get here. So if you haven't played with smart views too much, that's essentially what that does. So you can search really any search criteria you can think of, and then set it up kind of as a smart view, which is like a saved search of your contacts essentially. So where it has that smart view, right now I was on all contacts, but since I did a search of leads only, I can actually create the smart view of those leads only. So I'll click create smart view. We'll see the suggestion for like Q2 leads, right? Because you could search in your filters, you can search, you know, a certain time period for that as well. But let's say I just want all leads. So anytime I click on the smart view, it will show all leads, my newest first. You can set that as a default. So by default, your command account will show you all contacts when you click on the contact section. But if you want to see leads right away first, you can select that. Okay, but I'm going to leave that off so I can show you how you can just quickly navigate to leads only without that being the default. So I click save, right? So now let's say I'm on all contacts. So I just switch back to all contacts, and you can do that by clearing the search if you would like. All right, but so this is how my contact database will look when I automatically come into my contacts, and I can quickly switch to all leads by clicking on that smart view option to switch to all leads to view that right away. So super quick there. Okay, last but not least, how you're notified of these leads. You are notified in the bell icon on the very top right of command. So bell icon, as well as the Kelly app. Make sure you have the Kelly app downloaded on your phone with push notifications on, which it should be off default. Right. However, that will make it so that as long as you have the Kelly app on your phone, that's spelled K-E-L-L-E, that will make it so that you receive push notifications to your phone of any new leads as well. And I'm going to put this in the chat, the notifications article from answers.com. I'll pull this up to show you what this is. I really like this article. If you guys have not gone to answers.kw.com yet, it is just basically KWRI's portal of instruction manuals, every inch of your KW technology, super helpful. So again, that's answers.kw.com if you ever want to play around with it. But I just put this in the chat, and this will just show you how you're notified of anything that comes through command. So for example, landing pages, so that's under contacts. So under contacts here, you'll see landing pages. When a lead form is submitted, you are notified by the command that's saying the bell icon on the top right of command and the Kelly app. So this is just a great way to check how you are notified of each item in here to make sure everything's working for you. All right, guys, so if you'd like to stick around, I am going to share the tip videos that I mentioned during today's class to help build on your knowledge. So I'll share those out in the chat for the next couple minutes here. If you're watching this recorded, again, I'll put those tip videos in the YouTube description below if you'd like to check that out. If you guys have any questions at all as you're going through all this, of course, it's a lot of information, and I am more than happy to help you through that. So any questions at all, shoot me an email, support@scottleroymarketing.com. You can put my name in the subject line, put attention Leah, L-E-A-H, and I'd be more than happy to take a look at your specific landing page or your account specifically to help you troubleshoot anything at all. So just let me know how we can help you best, and you know where to find me. Hey, have a great weekend, guys, and I'll be sticking around for anyone that is here live.